I think Layla from an early age was always a real goal setter. Things might not have come easy for her, but she knew she could work hard and achieve it.
Layla has been really great, and I think one of the best things that she's really done for me is one, fire like kind of my competitive side, and then she's also just been like someone I can look up to just from a standpoint of the amount of work ethic that I know she has, and for her to just constantly be working in and day out, I think that's really motivated me to be more like her.
I was adopted at 2 years old from Moscow, Russia. I don't honestly remember them telling me hey, you're adopted. Kind of, I guess, always realized that, especially with my two sisters being adopted as well.
Our adoption journey actually started with my brother. My brother and his wife were adopting my first nephew from Guatemala. They have 3 kids now, 2 from Guatemala, 1 from China. On their first adoption journey, they traveled to Guatemala, and I remember telling my coworkers, I was so excited every stage of their adoption. I was telling them like it was my own journey, and it wasn't. But I was just so excited, but it wasn't until he was placed in our arms. And the first time I held my nephew, my husband and I, we just looked at each other. And we had been wanting to start a family for a long time. And we just looked at each other and we knew our adoption journey is about to start.
It was really cool to kind of grow up with a few different cultures. My cousins were adopted as well. That's not something you get a lot these days, so definitely feel blessed to have the opportunity to grow up in a little bit different lifestyle. I remember tagging along with my sisters when they would go to Mandarin class, and because my parents kind of wanted them to keep up with that, but little things like that aren't big to you when you're little, but looking back at them, they were cool experiences for sure.
There was a little Russian grocery. We would take her to the Russian grocery so she could pick out Russian candy. That was always such an exciting thing for her to do. But we always wanted to instill pride from where they're from and their heritage.
I had my 8th birthday in China when we adopted my sister, who was 12 at the time. I think it's different for my older sister just because she was 12. Seeing how we were interacting with her and how she interacted with us, and it was just very clear that she was super thankful to have a family that wanted her, and going to China and having that experience is something I'm really thankful for.
Kara and Leila, from the moment they got together, they just had this own little language and they bonded so tight when we were in China.
Honestly, my parents always remind me I loved being the only child for that short period of time. When they went to adopt my younger sister, I was at home with my grandparents and they came back with a little girl. I was like, what's going on? But no, it was definitely an adjustment at first for all of us to kind of, grasp, we're all 3 adopted and we're not really related, but we are sisters, and to just create that bond over time and see how it's been able to grow has been a really neat experience.
My husband used to be a social golfer, and he would go to the driving range and hit balls. And we adopted Leila when she was almost 3. And about a year later, he just started taking Leila with him on Saturday mornings. And then it just became every Saturday morning, Leila would go to the driving range with Nolan. And that became their father-daughter special time. As that went on, when Mia came home from China, Mia started going with them. And then when Kara came home, she started going with them as well. So what started with Leila and Nolan at the driving range became 3 girls, 3 daughters, and Nolan at the driving range.
Started doing lessons around 8 years old, and a year later at 9 I had my first tournament. I think I shot 72 for 9 holes, which is what you're supposed to do for 18. So I kind of set a goal for myself to, in a few years, to be able to shoot that for 18 holes, and I just kind of got addicted to the game, and it's history now.
Yeah.
Golf has helped Leila in so many ways. It's helped all 3 of my daughters in so many ways. It's a great lesson in life. Within 18 holes, you're going, oh, this is great. Oh, this is awful. This is great. You're overcoming challenges on a daily basis. It's just so many different life lessons that are taught by golf that I think helps them succeed in life.
Golf has really helped me feel closer to my sisters because I think we were able to bond on the golf course and I was also able to bond on the range. Even when we were little, we were constantly going out with each other and in competitions, which I think really strengthened our bond.
We would kind of take golf as our time to, three of us go and have some quality time together and go to the course, go to the range and putt here and there, but it was definitely a bonding moment between us, which was really nice to have.
Over the years has been wonderful family time for us. We've taken trips where they're just golf trips. So it's been great for our family to have. The girls are very competitive and they always find that time.
My parents are obviously very supportive as well, but I think, just having that sisterly bond is a little, you look forward to hearing from them a little more than your parents sometimes.
One final round of applause for our champions, the Michigan State Spartans.
Leila's golf career has kind of pushed me to be better in my own golf game. So she has kind of motivated me to just keep bettering myself and, seeing her be so successful here on the college level, it's made me kind of strive to have what she has just because I know how happy she is here.
I think to many people it's very interesting, 3 adopted sisters and they all play golf is not something you see every day, but I wouldn't trade it for the world, and we all know going forward it's going to be a big part of our lives and we can use it in any way that we may need to, and same thing with adoption. We all 3 have a big passion for it because it's given us so many amazing things and we're just really excited to see where it takes us.